Today on GoPro Tips and Tricks, we're tackling one of the most requested and most anticipated DIY tips and tricks videos ever. We're building a DIY chest mount. This is going to be a really simple DIY project. It's going to use the base plate that our camera came mounted on and some Velcro straps. The results of this are going to be an incredibly professional looking DIY chest mount which can compete on performance levels with that of the actual GoPro chesty. The only piece of this mount you're going to have to go shopping for is these Velcro straps. Now, there's a link down in the video description to the Amazon page where you can buy these exact straps. You need 4 total, so I got two packs. These are 3 foot long by 2 inch wide Velcro straps. They've got a long piece here of soft Velcro, and then on one end they've got the sticky part. And now this is what's going to make up the 4 straps of our chesty. And then we're going to need that base plate that our camera came mounted on. This is that piece that sits on top of the box that you buy your GoPro. When you buy your GoPro, this is that piece that's being used to display it. Make sure you save this because there's tons of DIY mounts we can use using this piece. Then we're going to need a grinder to cut some slits in the side of this. In my case, I'm going to be using a Dremel, but if you don't have a Dremel, you can use anything just to cut those 4 slits. You can use a file and a drill. You could use a jigsaw, an X-Acto knife if you're patient. So you just need something to cut some slits into this mount. The final piece of the puzzle for this mount is a sewing machine. Now, if you guys don't have access to a sewing machine, I don't know how to use one, you can always sew by hand, but I'd really recommend if you want to get that professional look and just the highest quality and durability out of this mount you can, go find someone who's got a sewing machine and ask them to sew this mount together for you. Alright, so let's get started. This is how our GoPro chest mount is going to go together. We're going to have these 2 straps on the side wrapping around our bodies, and then we're going to have these 2 straps on the top going over top of our shoulders. All 4 straps then are going to be attached together in the back, and all of the adjustment parts are going to happen on the front here. What this means is we're going to need 4 notches into our base plate. We're going to need 2 down at the bottom here for those 2 waist straps, and then 2 kind of angled cuts at the top, which are going to be used for the over-the-shoulder straps. So we've now gone ahead, we've got our base plate all marked off with where we need our notches to be. So now we're just going to get out our Dremel and go ahead and grind out these notches. When we're done, we'll have something that looks like this. We can now run our straps through and then have a look at how our back's going to go together. There's the front of our chest mount all done. Now we're going to flip the mount over and look at how the back's going to go together. We're going to bring the 2 waist straps together, overlap them, and sew them together just like this. Then we're going to bring the 2 shoulder straps down and then line them up over top of the waist straps, probably about 6 inches apart, and then sew them down right there. This is the time you need to take a moment, try this mount on, and just have someone behind you figure out the amount of overlap you need in all the straps so that the camera ends up in the right spot and you end up with the right amount of adjustment on each of the Velcro straps. For me, I need about 6 inches to a foot of overlap at the back. Otherwise, the mount will just become too big. And then I need the shoulder straps to have all the length they can have. Also, keep in mind what you're going to be wearing when you're using this mount. If you're currently wearing a t-shirt and you're going to be using this skiing, make sure that you've got a lot of extra in here so that you can loosen it off once you put on the big ski jackets. With all your sizing figured out, it's time to start sewing. The first step is to cut these buckles off the end. I'm going to start by sewing my 2 shoulder straps down onto 1 waist strap. And then once that's complete, I'll sew the 2nd waist strap over top of everything. That's both of our shoulder straps sewn on. Now we're going to take our other waist strap and overlapping it just as much as it is on this side. We're going to sew that down and then our mount will be complete. With that, our DIY chest mount is complete. All we need to mount our camera is our GoPro and a J-buckle mount. We just mount our camera onto the J-buckle mount and then slap it into our GoPro base plate. As always, when using a chest mount, make sure you shoot as wide as possible. So something like 1080p wide or 1080p super view are going to give you the best results when using this mount. Guys, this was another GoPro tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed it and you want to see more like it, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and check out my channel for lots more videos. If you want to suggest any DIY topics for upcoming videos, leave those down below in the comments. I read all of the comments on these videos and I respond to as many of them as I can. Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching.